guys, and welcome back to Lisa Lives. I feel like my face is dead shiny. I do apologise. I've got my light on, it's quite late in the evening here, so I'm wanting to do this little tag video as I won't get a chance to sort of do a video in the next few days. This had to be done, and the timing of this is exceptional. This is a tag from Martin from the Trash to Pictures show, a good buddy of mine, really decent guy. He has done a Resident Evil tag. Now, Resident Evil the games, not as Martin said, and I will reiterate the atrocities that were those movies. I apologise if you like them, but if you were a big fan of the games, you probably didn't really like them. But anyway, that's besides the point. This is a Resident Evil tag. There are 6 questions, very easy to answer if you're a fan of the games. Time to Perfection with, sorry that's my phone, with the remake of 2 coming out on Friday, which I'm not going to be able to get for months because it's going to be expensive and I can't afford it. I'm going to have to wait until it like drops massively in price, and then I will buy it. But anyway, that's besides the point. Just in case all you lot that are getting it or have got it say, have you played it, or what are you not getting it for a while, guys? So anyway, off we go with this tag. Number 1 is your favourite Resident Evil game. Now, I will differ from most people in this answer. Most people are going to say Resident Evil 2. I'm going to say the original, the first Resident Evil. It was originally released as Biohazard in Japan. This is quite simply because it's the first Resident Evil game I ever played. I have nostalgia goggles. I still prefer it to number 2. I know everyone says 2 is a better game. I thought the puzzles in 1 were fantastic. You know, the one where you had to like push the statues about upstairs and push the statue off the top balcony so it broke at the bottom and you had to find items inside it. I'm sure that's one. If it isn't, I apologise. But I remember playing Resident Evil 1 and spending a stupid amount. It was light outside when I started playing this game and it was dark outside when I stopped. It was probably 9 hours on my first play of this. I could not put this down. The only complaint I will have about the first one, for its time obviously now the graphics don't hold up, but for its time, the only thing I will complain about is when you went in or out of doors. It gave you that big like close-up of a pair of doors opening and it was so slow. It done your head in. You were just like screaming at the screen after a while with that slow door opening and shutting. But anyway, yeah, Resident Evil 1 is my favourite in the series. Number 2, favourite Resident Evil hero in the series. Right, I'm not like others that I get massively into the characters. I do with some games. Example, The Last of Us. I adore... Oh, his name's gone. If Isaac was here, he would be able to tell me. Not the little girl, the guy that you play in The Last of Us. I love his character, absolutely loved his character, and I was getting a bit twitchy playing that game. I won't say anything, but 3/4 way through The Last of Us, I was twitching. But for Resident Evil, it's going to be Chris Redfield, big brother of Claire. Big brother of Claire. A lot of people are saying Leon Kennedy. I'm going for Chris Redfield because he just seems to have a bit of a harder edge than Leon. Leon seems too much of a pretty boy. So I'm going for Chris. Yeah, so Chris Redfield. Number 3, favourite Resident Evil human villain in the series. I'm going down the really predictable route and picking Wesker because it's the first person I think of when you say evil villain human in the series. The man's just everything I hate. He's power hungry. He like, you know, he double crosses people. He's dishonest. He's, Wesker. Number 4, favourite monster or creature in the series. Right, I love the zombies, the bog standard zombies, but there's one particular creature that every time I saw one in this game, you're asking me my favourite, I hate the sight of them, I hate them anywhere near me. Lickers. My husband likes that name, he thinks it sounds vaguely rude, I'm sure you can imagine why. Lickers, oh, I can remember the swearing that I did when I first encountered the Lickers, and every time I saw one since. Vile creatures. So they're probably one of the best inventions, creature-wise, in the Resident Evil games, but I just love, there's something glorious about the old zombies that come lurching at you with their hands out. Love it. So I'm going to say the zombies, even though I will attest to the fact that the Lickers are probably going to be most people's answer there. 2 more questions. Favourite boss monster or creature in the series? There can only be one. Do you remember those heavy footfalls walking around even when you couldn't see him? And that booming voice, stars. Do you remember? Stars. Oh my god, I heard that in my sleep. Nemesis has to be he's the villain that I remember more than any other from the Resident Evil franchise. I have just completed Resident Evil 7. What's it called? Why do I want to say Biohazard? Surely it can't be Biohazard, because that's what the first one was called. Something's telling me it's Biohazard. Oh, just ignore me. Resident Evil 7. I've just finished it. Yes, it's a long time after it came out. My son was scared of it, and I just didn't have the chance to play it at a time when he wasn't up and about, that I was able to like get the TV all to myself. But I've just finished it and oh, that game is just incredible. It's so creepy, it's so atmospheric. What am I talking about? Sorry, I've got Martin's questions here. The moss, I was talking about Nemesis. I felt that the bosses in the new Resident Evil, not the remake of 2, were a lot easier, possibly because I didn't have them on top difficulty, but Marguerite was just hideous. And Jack was such a difficult villain. He was horrible. So he wasn't a villain as such. If you've played the whole game, you know what I mean by that. But he just kept coming back. The man wouldn't stay down. That bit in Resident Evil 7 in the morgue where you're chucking body bags, you're pushing body bags at Jack, to stop him getting at you, and you pick up the chainsaw and you're having a fight. Oh god, the language. Oh, my hands were sore trying to pass that bit. It was the hardest part in the game for me, so I have to make a special mention for Jack also. Last question, who is your Resident Evil crush? I don't know that I can answer this because it's a computer graphic, and I can't say I've ever played a computer game and thought, whoa, you're a bit of alright. There are some games now that are based on real people, like obviously Detroit. The main guy that plays Marcus in that is, I can't remember the guy's name. He was in Cabin in the Woods. He's also one of the big stars of Grey's Anatomy, which I love. So I suppose if you had a crush, and I'm playing one called Until Dawn at the minute, and Rami Malek is one of the characters in it, so that's quite interesting. From Resident Evil, if you force me to choose, I am going to pick Chris Redfield, because he's my favourite guy in it. He's not quite as pretty as Leon. He's got a bit of a harder edge. He looks a bit tougher. So yeah, we will go with Chris Redfield. But yeah, that is the 6 questions from the Trashed Picture Show. I can't really tag any of you guys out. Actually, I can. There are a couple of people that I know that have played the Resident Evil franchise, one of which is the horror miser Monty G, so I will tag him. And I know he's already got the new game for PC. Oh, I'm so jealous. I would tag Strange Monkey, but I don't think Strange Monkey's a person that really does tags, but if you want to do it, buddy, you're tagged. If not, don't worry about it. Anyone else that plays the series, I'm not entirely sure who does and who doesn't, but it's perfectly timed with the new one coming out. So if you play Resident Evil, if you enjoy it, give the tag a go. It's a fun one, it's an easy one, and you can probably do it in about half to a third of the time that I just did waffling. So yeah, thanks Martin for the tag. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for tagging me. And I will look forward to checking out all the answers of all the people Martin tagged and anyone that does it after myself. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. And it's over and out from Lisa Lives.